Hey friends, Pastor Bill Walden here from Build Up the Church. Hope you're doing great. This is a devotional thought for the date of January 29th, 2024. In Matthew chapter 20, verses 1 to 16, Jesus is answering a question that the disciples have been asking. In Matthew 19, they said, we've left everything to follow you. What are we going to get? And Jesus gave them some answers there in Matthew chapter 19. But then he continued on with the line of thinking and with the conversation. And he told a story about a man who owned a vineyard. And the vineyard needed workers. And so the man went out into the marketplace where the day laborers would stand. They'd arrive early in the morning. They were there just ready to be hired. And so the landowner hired some of them and said, I'll give you a day's wage, a denarius. So common day's pay for a day laborer. So that was probably 6 in the morning. He went out later 2 or 3 times throughout the day, 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and even at 5 o'clock in the evening, and hired other guys. He didn't promise to give the other guys a denarius. He just said, I'll give you what is right. And so the workers needing work, they just said, well, he'll be fair and he'll give us what is right. At the end of the day, the landowner told his manager, hey, pay the guys. Let's start with the guys that we hired at 5 p.m. They were given a day's wage. And then the guys hired at noon were given a day's wage. And the guys hired at 9 a.m. were given a day's wage. And so the guys that were hired at 6 a.m. thought, well, surely we're going to get more because we worked in the heat of the day. We worked hard all day. Those guys, they were in the shade most of the day. They just showed up at the last part and the manager, the landowner, paid them a full day's pay. So surely we're going to get more. And when it came time to pay them, the landowner only gave them a day's pay. And they objected. And this is where we pick up the story. The workers said, these last men have only worked 1 hour, and you made them equal to us, who have borne the burden in the heat of the day. But he answered one of them and said, friend, I am doing you no wrong. Did you not agree with me for a denarius? Take what is yours and go your way. I wish to give this last man the same as to you. Is it not lawful for me to do what I wish with my own things? Or is your eye evil or jealous? Or are you disapproving of me because I am good, because I'm generous? Are you disapproving of me because I'm generous? If I want to bless some others more than what they apparently deserve, does that bother you? And then Jesus said, the last will be first and the first will be last. Many are called, few are chosen. Now, this is really a parable about God's readiness to reward those who serve him. And it's not a perfect parable, as some have commented on, and I would agree with that, because anything that we receive from God really is an act of his grace. It's undeserved favor. If you're a follower of Jesus, you know that you've been forgiven because of what Jesus has done, so it's a gift to you. And we serve God out of gratitude and out of willingness and out of joy and out of wanting to see people know the same love of God that we know and love. And God does promise to reward us in the hereafter. The trouble is, sometimes we might think we deserve more than others. And this is where maybe the parable breaks down a little bit, in that God will reward the way that he wants to reward. And he'll always do the right thing. He agreed with the early workers, I'll give you a day's pay. With the other guys, he said, I'll give you what's right. And so it could be in the parable, we don't know, I'm just suggesting, that the landowner saw something in them that caused him to get more than they were worth, according to man's evaluation. But according to the landowner's evaluation, it was worth it, and he wanted to be generous to them. The trouble with us is that we can object sometimes when it seems like God is, in this life, blessing others more than he's blessing us. Maybe you've been a Christian a long time. Maybe you've done a lot of things in Christian ministry, and then somebody else kind of comes along late in the game, and it seems that God's blessing is upon them as equally as it is to you, or even perhaps a little bit more, and you can resent that. The thing we have to be careful with is, really, apart from God's gracious, generous offer to forgive us, we all deserve his judgment. So he's been gracious to all of us, and so we're all getting more than we deserve. Let's not be jealous of others when it seems that God is blessing them a little bit more than he's blessing us. So that lesson applies to the here and the now, and the then and the there in the hereafter. Thanks for watching. God bless you.